Imagine this. You check your phone one day and realize that the money you once spent on just 2 pizzas is now worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Just 2 pizzas. And in return, exactly 10,000 Bitcoin. Today, that amount can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and at certain points in Bitcoin's history, it has come close to $1 billion. So who was the man who did this? Did he really regret it? And why did no one realize that this would become a historic moment? Today, we're telling the story of one of the most famous purchases in Internet history. Chapter 1. The Early Days of Bitcoin. The year was 2009. The world was still trying to recover from the effects of the 2008 financial crisis. Right in the middle of that period, a person or group whose identity is still unknown, using the name Satoshi Nakamoto, brought Bitcoin to life. In the beginning, Bitcoin had almost no real-world value. People mined it for fun and sent it to each other for free on forums. Some websites even gave away a few Bitcoin just for solving a CAPTCHA. It sounds unbelievable today, but back then getting 100 Bitcoin was almost free. But there was one major problem. For Bitcoin to become real money, people had to actually use it to buy something. And that is exactly where our story's hero enters the scene. Chapter 2. Laszlo's Message. May 22, 2010. Florida-based software developer Laszlo Hanyecz posted a very simple message on a Bitcoin forum. "I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 large pizzas." It was not a joke. He was completely serious. All he wanted was for someone to order pizza for him, whether it was homemade or from a restaurant. It didn't matter. He just wanted to eat. At that time, 10,000 Bitcoin was worth about $41. So in reality, it was a pretty normal price for 2 large pizzas. At first, no one responded to the offer. Days passed. Eventually, a 19-year-old living in England named Jeremy Sturdivant accepted Laszlo's offer. Jeremy ordered 2 large pizzas from Papa John's and had them delivered to Laszlo's address. In return, he received exactly 10,000 Bitcoin. No one that day knew this would go down in financial history. Chapter 3. The Most Expensive Pizza in History. Here's where the story gets interesting. Bitcoin began rising in value over the years. 2011, 2013, 2017, 2021. With every major price surge, people kept asking the same question: how much are those pizzas worth now? When Bitcoin reached $1,000, those pizzas were worth $10 million. When it hit $20,000, $200 million. And during Bitcoin's newer all-time highs, that number climbed into the hundreds of millions. Suddenly, this event became known as the most expensive pizza in history. Every year on May 22nd, the global crypto community celebrates this day as Bitcoin Pizza Day, because this transaction is considered one of the first major real-world purchases ever made with Bitcoin. Chapter 4. Did Laszlo regret it? The question people ask most often is, did Laszlo regret it? Surprisingly, no. In interviews years later, he said, "I wanted Bitcoin to be used. If nobody spent it, Bitcoin would never become real money." So his goal was not to invest. He was experimenting. He wanted to prove that Bitcoin actually worked. In fact, because of what he did, people saw that Bitcoin was not just a digital toy. Maybe without those pizzas, Bitcoin would not be nearly as popular today. Chapter 5. Jeremy's Story. So what did Jeremy do with the 10,000 Bitcoin he received? He didn't hold on to them forever either. He spent most of them over time, because back then no one could have predicted that Bitcoin would become so valuable in the future. Looking back today, everyone says, "I wish I had held it." But it is easy to judge the past with today's knowledge. At the time, it was just another ordinary internet experiment. Closing. This story teaches us an important lesson. When major technological revolutions begin, most people do not realize how big they will become. The internet, smartphones, artificial intelligence, and Bitcoin. All of them were underestimated when they first appeared. Maybe we are in the middle of another transformation right now. Who knows? Maybe the technology that seems worthless today will become the greatest invention of the future. So if you were in that situation, what would you have done if you had 10,000 Bitcoin in 2010? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more financial stories. See you in the next Money Stories video.